Alrighty, y'all. Last episode this week, Knowledge Drop number 30. Title of this one is It's a Meme World, and we're all just living in it, man. We're all just living in this crazy meme world. What got me thinking about this was if you guys have never heard of Tim Dillon, the comedian, I would highly recommend checking him out. He's, I think, miles ahead of any other comedian right now, like by far the funniest dude that I've ever seen. He has a podcast called The Tim Dillon Show. I was listening to that the other day, and he was kind of talking about a similar concept of just how ridiculous the world that we're living in is. And it just got me thinking about this, and I kind of wanted to take this and put our own little twist on it in terms of business and stuff. And there will be a lesson at the end of this episode, even though it might seem like it's all kind of dumb. There is a lesson, but it's just so funny, man. Like, we literally live in a meme. Like, the world is now a meme. I was just looking at Scotty, are you subscribed to The Hustle, that newsletter?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, I was just reading The Hustle, and at the bottom of that, it was talking about how there's an NFT now. I think it's called like Ether Rocks, and they're literally JPEGs of fucking rocks, like a rock. The minimum price for one of them is over $1 million for a digital photo of a rock. A rock, Scotty. A rock, dude. Over $1 million. That is insane. Like, that's what investing is now. That's literally, investing isn't like, dollar cost averaging into the S&P 500 or like, putting money into a 401k. It's literally buying digital photos of rocks.
Is that a buy recommendation, Schmitty?
No, definitely not. I personally, I haven't gotten too much in the NFTs. Have you?
I have not.
I'm not saying that I don't believe in it. I think it makes sense to me in some ways, but this is the thing that I can't come on. $1 million for a digital photo of a rock. Why? Like, I don't understand it. Why is that a thing? It's not even cool or unique. It's not like like the whole Beeple thing. I kind of understood that he had like unique and interesting art. This is a shitty low pixel photo of a rock. Like, what's the fuck? I don't get it.
The Mona Lisa isn't all that nice either, Schmitty.
The Mona Lisa is a little bit better than a fucking digital rock, dude. That's the meme world we live in. Say again?
Is it really though?
I like to think so, yeah. I like to think that there was some sort of talent, some sort of like hard work, some story behind it.
I mean, if you can sell your digital rock for $1 million, I would say you're talented. You've done something right. Man.
I suppose so. Apparently they were made like a couple years ago, and now they're just starting to get real popular. I don't understand it, man. It's a freaking rock.
We're just old, Schmitty.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, this is the world we live in now. Investing is now buying digital photos of rocks. There are 17-year-old content creators who make prank videos of them like doing the most dumb shit on YouTube, who make more than doctors and lawyers. Like, that's like that's the new high status job. Like, being a YouTuber is like the high status job that like being a doctor or a lawyer used to be. Like, people are getting rich from buying a coin based off of a cartoon dog. That sounds pretty normal compared to the freaking rocks thing, man. Like,
that's not even the funniest part though. Funniest part is the fact that I believe the richest man in the world, or who, like fucking Elon Musk, tweeting about Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Or like, wasn't he alluding to like Cumcoin or something?
He said a lot of shit, man. He was going pretty wild there for a little bit.
That is crazy.
One of the richest men in the world is just memes coins into existence.
Yeah.
Like, what even is that, dude? What is going on? There's girls. I mean, this is probably coming to an end now with the recent news, but there's girls that are just making absurd amounts of money just like showing their tits on the internet. Like that's nuts. And then power to them. And then God bless those. They're gonna be out of work soon. It seems like.
Yeah.
That's just. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like the whole thing with Logan Paul, like some random YouTuber with zero boxing experience trains for like a year or two, and then all of a sudden he's made like 20 million boxing. Like, what is that? What? How? It's just that none of this makes sense. We live in a meme world.
Yeah, the Logan Paul stuff honestly makes total sense to me. It's funny how people say like, oh, he's not a boxer or whatever, when really I think what they just figured out was that the money in boxing is not about skill, like it's the entertainment business, and they are 100% entertainers. So the fact that they're boxing makes total sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's freaking genius what they've done, to be honest. Like, I did not see that happening.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that would be the next thing that YouTubers would go towards, or like entertainers, content creators would go towards to really like monetize what they were doing. Like this guy went from selling random merch to like selling out arenas for boxing matches. Like that's pretty sick.
Definitely cool. Yeah, definitely cool.
That's nuts, man. You have the whole thing with whatever happened with Reddit and GameStop last year. Like that was freaking nuts. A bunch of random autistic dudes just decided that GameStop they were going to revive it from the dead, and that just entire thing was hilarious. I don't even know how that really ended up. Like, did Wall Street get crushed? Like, I don't really think that ended up happening. I personally did not really participate in the whole GameStop thing. Scott, you didn't do that, did you? That's a little too gimmicky for the young man, huh?
Yeah, that's not really my thing. The Reddit investing trends, definitely not my thing.
I did gamble a little bit on a different one, and I ended up making a little bit of profit, but it was just a little. As soon as I did it, I was just like, why did I just do that? Like that was just so dumb.
Bit too much of an ape.
Yeah, it was a bit of an aggressive move. Another wild meme world thing is like video games and how much money is spent on like in-game purchases for like fake digital outfits for their fake digital characters. Like that's insane. There's like the company that made Fortnite is very, very close to where I live, surprisingly, out here in North Carolina. And their headquarters is massive, man. And every time I pass by it, I just think about like, what, like the game of Fortnite is free. Like all that money is from people like buying outfits for their freaking characters in games. Like that's just the I don't know, man. That's another thing along with the NFT rocks. That's another thing that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I think probably crazier than all of this, the fact that a guy in his late 70s who cannot get a job at Walmart or Target or Chipotle or anywhere else for that matter decided, well, if the only job that will take me is president of the United States, then that's the job I'll take. And everyone said, yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. Dude, no, I don't even know, man. Like, I can't even freaking speak for more than 5 minutes without like looking at a teleprompter.
But I mean, forget about him. How did it happen that all the presidents and pretty much everyone in Congress or Senate or wherever would not be able to get a job anywhere else?
You don't think they would?
No. Like their application would not be considered simply due to age.
That is kind of weird. It is kind of weird that I don't know if that's how it's always been, but it does very much. And that's another paradox of this whole thing. Like we live in like a young person's, this is like a meme world. This is like a very much a young person's world, but it's still governed by very old people.
Yep.
It's weird to think about. The final meme world thing that I had here is that the literal richest and most powerful men in the entire world, how they've chosen to spend their billions is just by like trying to big dick each other to see who can do more cool stuff in space. Like that's what they're doing. That's what they decided. And honestly, like I can't even fault them for that. Like, well, they could probably use that money for better things. you know, solving world hunger, or, I don't know, building a lot of theme parks that would make children happy. I don't know. They could be doing something on Earth, but they just decided, you know what? Space. I just want to go to fucking space. That's what they decided to do.
Yeah. My theory is they saw Mr. Gates try to do good in the world, and the entire world turned on him. So they're like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna build a rocket.
I'm gonna build a fucking rocket. Go to fucking space. Go on a little skits adventure. If anyone gets that reference, you mean the world to me. That's a big Let's Show reference.
I was gonna say, when did Musk become Australian?
Going on a skits adventure. No. It's a meme world, folks. So okay, so that's the thing. It's a meme world. We're all just living in it. I said there was gonna be a lesson at the end of this. The lesson is that this is not the world that it used to be. And like all of the things that your parents were taught, that our parents were taught about, like how to live a good life, the things you need to do to be successful and to be happy. I think all that's out the window now. Like none of that even applies. Why would you go to school for 10 years to become a doctor when you could just be a freaking meme coin investor or a YouTuber or just like show your tits on the internet? Like I don't know, man. I think you gotta have some options for doing some different things than what was, in the quote unquote old world, because the world now is it's nuts, man. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous in so many ways. And I think that you got to take that into account when you're making your life decisions, like depending on what you want to do, maybe you should become a doctor. I'm not trying to discourage you, but at the same time, maybe you should just buy Dogecoin. Also an option. That's a career now, apparently. It's just weird, man. It's just weird. And I think you gotta think about, like, I guess part of this to me is just there's ways now that just seem so ridiculous that are kind of ways to like shortcut getting to, the quote unquote good life, where you're like financially sound and you can kind of spend your time doing what you want. There's so many weird and ridiculous ways to do that. And I just, if you've never thought about that, like think about it. Think about what kind of ridiculous thing you could do to make a living. Because why not? Like in this crazy meme, like why would you not?
Very true. Very true, Schmitty.
It's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy world. It's all a meme. I can't even imagine where things are going to be in like 20 years, man. Like if people are paying $1 million for digital photos of rocks right now, like what's the next thing?
Well, Schmitty, if I knew that, I wouldn't tell you.
You wouldn't tell me? You wouldn't even tell me, man?
I'll tell you off air, Schmitty. We'll buy all the digital peas ourselves.
It's just ridiculous, man. I'm not saying that you should go just throw your entire net worth into NFTs or, quit your job to become a TikToker, but just don't be a fool, like there's so many options of weird things you can do to make a living. And it makes me feel like just like some of the traditional paths are just kind of like, you're just kind of a fool for working so hard when, all you got to do is just buy a Dogecoin, like, I don't know.
Don't be a fool or do be a fool and put it on TikTok.
It's like things are just opposite now. It's like, you'd be considered dumb for buying a random coin that was based off of nothing, that was, fucking modeled after a cartoon dog. But are you really the dumb one? If you turn 10K into 100K while some dude is slaving away at his 9-to-5 job, not even making that in a year, like who's the dumb one then? I don't know, man. I don't know.
We shall see what it all comes to.
I guess we shall. Well, that's the lesson, folks. Just look out for these weird freaking things and try to capitalize off some of them, I suppose. You got to be careful, it's just wild, man. Like just thinking about how hard people had to work in the past to like just barely scrape by. And then now there's just so many different weird ways to make money that are just like so relatively easy. And obviously none of these are guaranteed, but they're options. There's something to think about. And that's about it. I want to leave this in like a happy place, but I'm just kind of like, I've put myself into a state of disbelief where I just really can't believe that this is the world that we live in. But I guess on the plus side, that it's the, this crazy meme world that we live in is that's the reason that we're able to even do what we do with, the whole e-commerce thing, the whole online marketing thing. It wouldn't be possible without the internet. And I think the internet is kind of like the root of all these crazy things that are happening. So shout out to the guy who made the internet. It's kind of funny that whoever made the internet, like he's not like a household name.
Wasn't it Al Gore?
I don't think so.
I think he was involved in it somehow. People say he like was involved. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but shout out that guy. I think that'll do it for this week, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed, especially this weird last episode, but all the episodes, as always. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have ideas, concerns, questions you want us to answer in future knowledge drops, as always, let us know in Telegram. And yeah, have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.